Okay, we're ready to go. Thank you so much again, and let's kick it off.
Great, great, great. I appreciate everybody joining us today. I'll start off real fast talking about Siemens Rail Infrastructure Mobility. So let me share my screen real fast. Okay. So really fast. I know this is a more informal session. Just what we do here in Siemens Mobility Rail Infrastructure, specifically the Louisville campus, Louisville facility. You see here from my screen, this is the rail infrastructure market that we serve throughout. So here in Louisville, we have grade crossings predictions, level crossing systems, gates, arms flashers, warning bells. Obviously, the houses next to the rail systems that track performance, reliability, and connect to the train systems. When we talk rail infrastructure, it really is about connecting our customers from the first to the last mile to ensure reliability, to ensure that predictability, and that obviously the systems and the product is performing to the expectation. We are very sustainable, environmental friendly company that obviously we were working on the next level of technologies. The last session that we had was a smart session, and I'll probably say that every single product that we do here at Siemens is a smart product, right? It's a next level product. We're very environmental friendly. We want to go carbon neutral by 2030. So we're working on new technologies to kind of achieve that. You're talking electrical trains, you're talking hydrogen trains, and you name it, that is going to allow us to achieve those goals, right? Obviously, here in the U.S., something that is very dear for us, high-speed rail systems. We're working on that right now, and we're very excited for that technology and what that means for connecting people, connecting cities in the U.S., right? And for our infrastructure. So very excited about that right there. And you have technologies like track monitoring apps that allows us to see performance, reliability, and maintenance of the product, as well as obviously a system track that allows us to simulate and the performance of our trains and exactly the efficiency on those, right? When you talk Louisville, more specifically on that front, so this is our campus right here. So we have around 250 employees. We're one shift operation. Obviously, our technology core competencies, we have transit engineering, grade crossing control, functional tests. We have a huge product of R&D and engineering competencies from all the way from research and development products to transit designs to package crossings and wayside, right? Our customer base, we pretty much serve all the main rail customers. You're talking NS, Canadian Pacific, Kansas City, Canadian National, so forth. And we also obviously the transit customers. You're talking Metra, Long Island Railroad, you name it, all around. This is some of the pictures you see below of our final products. And I got to tell you, they're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun in the factories to build this product. For this, obviously, you drive a lot of efficiencies and competencies that allows us to differentiate ourselves from our competitors. A little bit about myself, I forgot to mention, I'm Alfredo Rodriquez. I'm the head of operations. In a nutshell, my job is to ensure the safety and well-being of our employees while ensuring customer satisfaction by delivering products on time, on quality, and our cost to our customer base. My purpose is more specifically to develop people, create flow, and relentlessly eliminate waste. I'll pass it over to.
Thank you, Alfredo. I'll take it over from here. I'm Melanie Wallace. I think Betty is another one of our colleagues had problems getting access to present. But I'm Melanie Wallace. I'm the Human Resources Director at Siemens Mobility. I am one of, Alfredo is one of my business partners. My role as an HR director for Siemens is really to work hand in hand with management on their people management strategy, making sure that they're focused on key capabilities for us as an organization to develop, care, engage, and focus on not only themselves, but our employees. A little bit more about Siemens. Let me share my screen. I'm sorry, I failed to do that. I feel pressured. This session is so short. I want to get it all in. It's like we don't have a whole lot of time. So, all right, there we go. So let me tell you a little bit more about Siemens mobility. So our mission is with digitalization, we enable mobility operators worldwide. We are a global company to make trains, as Alfredo showed you, and infrastructure intelligent and increase value sustainably over the life cycle, ensuring that we enhance the passenger experience and guarantee of availability and safety as we move people across the world. Our vision is that we are global entrepreneurs, trusted by our partners and our customers to pioneer transportation and move people seamlessly and safely from 1 mile to the next. Our culture and values are that we are passionate about mobility. We care about excellence and trust with our customers and our partners. We have a united, diverse team driven by this entrepreneurial spirit, business approach, and creativity required to lead us into the future. And, you know, our value proposition is real simple. We value integrity, innovation, and inclusiveness in our organization. This has been really exciting to talk about Siemens to Kentucky. I've been in Kentucky for about 7 years. I've been with Siemens for about 14 years. We landed here in Kentucky as a result of an acquisition we acquired in Vince's Rail, which was really a big piece in the traffic control software business. So it's been very great to be a part of the Kentucky area and bringing our company and what we do across the world to Kentucky has been a lot of fun. So that's a bit about me and a bit about Siemens. Let's see, what should we cover next? Do we have the ability to take questions and talk to the audience?
I'll take it first, Melanie.
Okay.
So really fast before we go to the next phase of the conversation. So I'll talk a bit of on manufacturing, right? I'm one of those that believes that manufacturing is for companies a differentiating factor, right? We know that in manufacturing, you only have X amount of resources and X amount of time, so you have to be able to be very good on focusing on it, so you can focus on the critical and ensure that the resources are always focused on the critical, and therefore when we address problems and look exactly what's driving losses or not going the right way, right, we're able to focus on that, and that will allow us to drive differentiating factors, results that at the end move the needle for the company, right? When you look at my screen, for us, we're really driving for an excellence culture. And excellence, in my opinion, is just plain and simple how well we do the ordinary on a day-to-day basis, right? When you look at our manufacturing KPIs, I mean, we have the standard safety, quality, delivery, and cost KPIs, but we know that KPIs are lagging indicators to a point, right? I mean, they're essential, and those are the indicators that kind of tells us whether we're winning or losing, right? To a simple view, right? But we know that there are more leading indicators instead of those lagging indicators. They're leading indicators that allows us to influence those KPIs, and every day. Our job is to ensure that we work on those leading indicators to influence our KPI, right? In Siemens Rail Infrastructure, we focus on data. We focus on ensuring that our people are connected and ensuring that we know and understand our numbers on a daily basis when you talk in safety, quality, delivery, and cost. So we have worked very, very hard to create dashboards using SAP data that allows us at a simple click of a button for the people to exactly understand where we are and what's happening on the shop floor, right? Obviously, on COVID times, this is very beneficial for the team to know exactly performance and also losses, right? As Melanie mentioned, we in Siemens Mobility, we're pretty big. We have factories all around the U.S. and the globe. I have responsibility for four, so every day I'm able to look at this dashboards and see exactly what's happening and ask those key questions so we can ensure that we are always focused on the critical. When you look at the dashboards, I mean, you have safety, quality, delivery, and cost, and these are kind of conversations that happen on a daily basis. We talk to our teams on a daily basis. That allows us to get together, especially during COVID times, and we're able to discuss those issues with our people, right, to ensure that we achieve our expectations and goals. The next phase for us, I mean, that's winning the day. That's what we call it. And then for us, then obviously it follows into more deep dive conversation on what is happening, what are those losses, what is critical on the lines that we have to ensure we focus on, or what's coming our way to, and ensuring that once it comes, we're going to be having flawless execution and we're going to be able to achieve our goals and expectations. This is just a nutshell on those dashboards that we have. I mean, you have inventory dashboards, you have on-time delivery dashboards, utilization dashboards, you name it, that we're able to at a very simplistic click of a button, understand exactly what are the top drivers and what are those losses or things that we need to focus in the factory floor to ensure a positive outcome, right? You take that, which is the culture of problem solving, which we're driving very, very hard to drive on a day-to-day basis, and that allows us to, obviously, all of us to develop and create more of that growth mindset that we're after, right? But also we know that the other half of the equation is creating a culture of continuous improvement. So what this is, it allows us to, in the factory, see we have broken down the factors by value streams, and those value streams we have broken the KPIs, or those leading and lagging indicators that I mentioned a moment ago, and we're able to look at, okay, what are the areas of opportunities? And depending on those areas of opportunities where you're talking financials, delivery, utilization, or cost, what tools can we use from our lean manufacturing system can we put in place into those areas that allows us to a more focused approach, proactive approach, obviously move the needle forward and drive continuous improvement, right? With that, we're able to kind of grade ourselves on our journey to this lean manufacturing ideal system that each facility is kind of marching to. And also with that, it allows us to put a strategy together, which is a 5-year strategy of our ideal state and what we want to be as, you know, the premier manufacturer for all Siemens, not just Siemens Mobility, for all Siemens. And with that, it allows us to learn by doing and allows us to really teach people, develop people, which at the end, as I mentioned, my purpose is to first develop people, second is to create flow, and lastly is to relentlessly chase waste. And at the end, all this is accomplished by having relentless grit, and that is the ability to overcome and persevere in spite of how many obstacles and challenges. You can see I'm very passionate about operation, and you have to have grit. But hopefully this was valuable for the people in the call today. Thank you.
Yeah.
Back to you, Melanie.
Yeah, we do have a question for you in the chat, Alfredo. Do you update your dashboard in real time? Went away. Yeah,
the summary. Yes, the dashboards are daily basis. Daily basis. They're pulled automatically, pretty neatly by robots, and on a daily basis, and they're available for the team. I mean, they can be by the hour, right, if we wanted to. But that's just half. The other half, what we do very, very well here is we put what we call Link Kit. Is another tool that we use to kind of drive actions into what we're seeing, depending on those dashboards. But as I mentioned a moment ago, at the end, tools are tools, and we need people. Right, it requires people. It requires the perseverance of people to drive to the root cause, to understand the contributing factors, to ensure all symptoms are understood, And then there, obviously, once that is well understood, the problem is well understood, we can solve problems and create a better future.
Okay, and there was a second part to that question. Are your Gemba walks done once a shift or once a day? And I know you mentioned at the beginning we only have one shift, so you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, there's a daily Gemba walk. It was very interesting this year when we went to by necessity through a dashboard or our lean technology Gemba walk through Microsoft Teams. Before the Gembas were happening in the floor, right? But now with COVID, we all get together at a specific time of the day, and each site has their own Gemba times, and I tend to join those every once in a while, just to get deep dive on the issues, right? But I mostly navigate on the weekly operational meetings where we deep dive the issues more on that next level.
Okay. Any other questions on that? All right. Well, I want to talk a little bit about the recruiting or the hiring aspect. I mean, Siemens is a global company, 300,000 employees across the globe. We have about 50,000 in the United States. Alfredo showed you our numbers here in Kentucky. He has another manufacturing site in Crittenden County in Marion, Kentucky, which employs over 200 employees there as well. And we happen to have some openings going on here in Louisville as well. But we are, what I like to let people know is, recruiting at Siemens is actually not that difficult because we have unlimited opportunity because it's such a big company. And if you have a desire and interest and mobility, especially to grow in an organization, Siemens is a great place to work because of just the unlimited amount of opportunity. We post all of our positions on SiemensUSA.com. We do allow employees to look for opportunities in other countries, even if it's temporary. What we do is called delegations. So you can delegate and learn in another country. So the opportunity at Siemens is unlimited. And I like that because it does make it easier for us to track and retain some of the best talent in our industry. So that's exciting for us. Do we have any more questions in the chat? I'm trying to monitor the chat while we're doing this. Do we have the ability for people to talk in this? No? Okay. Yep. So that's a little bit about from an HR perspective. But, as we talked about in the previous panel discussion, there is so many ways that we recruit and bring in our talent to the organization. And hopefully you joined the previous session where I talked a lot about our new normal, which is a big piece of how we retain talent in our organization. It's exciting for us as a company. I know there are, I am part of a lot of HR associations, and a lot of companies are moving to this new normal thinking because it's important for us to have flexibility now. And we learned through this COVID pandemic that people are even more productive when you give them that flexibility. So those are just some exciting things that are happening at Siemens to make sure that we're retaining and bringing in the best talent in our organization. So if anyone would like to speak, okay, you have to raise your hand to speak. learning how this all works. Betty, are you able to speak?
I finally am. I'm so sorry. I got elevated a little later, and you guys were just taking over and doing such an awesome job. I said, well, I can't help lose their flow right now. I did want to ask you guys, I think there's a wonderful opportunity. Maybe Alfredo, you can start about the important role that the products you guys are manufacturing and developing in Louisville, the important role they play on national and, on our railway networks around the country, just the kind of important things that are happening there in terms of their function.
No, exactly it, Betty. Maybe a whole lot of people don't know, and we know obviously rail infrastructure very critical. That is in the news today, obviously with the new maybe the new what was trying to be set up across the country. When you talk high-speed rail, and obviously in the U.S., knowing that we're not quite as advanced as maybe the European countries or the other countries in Asia, right? That is obviously something that is cutting edge for us. Very excited as we're actively working on those opportunities. But a more simplistic view, when you're talking even gate flashers, right? In the rail, how those are connected to the major locomotives or major locomotive customers to ensure that they're functioning correctly and no one will get hurt when there's a big locomotive going by, right? That's what we do here in Louisville. We work on those signals. We work on houses. They're able to control all that and communicate to our customers and drive, obviously, performance, reliability in communication on how that locomotive is performing. That allows, obviously, the conductor to also know exactly, hey, how is my locomotive today at the very end of the locomotive, 200 cars away. How's that performing from what I'm seeing here at the front of the locomotive? So that's our end of train technology that we have in place here in Siemens Mobility, Kentucky. And those are the technologies and products that we're working on that's going to allow us to continue to serve our customers and drive those high expectations that we have.
Yeah, no, I think it's important for the audience to realize that the American railroad network is really going through a huge transition. It started off historically as something that's centuries old. You have that old, I've been working on the railroad visuals, but things are changing, right, with the new technology and communications. And I think it's important for people to realize the role that the factories in Kentucky are doing in transitioning the railroads into the new type of railroad that's going to be relevant and part of a broader IT network for so much transportation going on. And that rail is actually still, I think, especially green, when you're able to electrify it, is still just such an important part of, I think, the future of transportation in this country. So I just wanted people to realize the important role that the people in Louisville are playing in helping make that happen. So.
Yep, I totally agree. We are responsible for helping control that train traffic. So it's exciting what we do here. I like it. Our employees feel they have a purpose and how they help everyday life of people and getting around. So and goods, how goods get around. So it's a very exciting time, and that's why the technology and making sure we get talent that have that advanced technology experience is so important for what we do at Siemens Mobility.
And I think we can all say we were very heartened to see that President Biden had focused a lot of upcoming possible infrastructure improvement and funding on rail-oriented projects. So I think that also can give people a lot of hope and confidence that rail is here to stay. So and it will keep evolving as well.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like you said, we don't know the impact of what the administration has done, but it is we're anxious and excited to hear about the focus and the investment in infrastructure. So for sure. Okay.
Well, thank you both. It doesn't look like there were any other questions, but we still had quite a nice turnout, so that was very
Yeah,
heartening.
no, this has been exciting. I wish we could have been able to engage a little bit more with the audience, but for those of you that have joined, we really, really appreciate you taking the time and opportunity to learn a little bit more about Siemens. Feel free to visit us on our website, SiemensUSA.com. And we're, of course, connected to all of the major social media platforms. So there's a lot of exciting things happening at Siemens. And if you ever have an interest in being part of our organization, there's plenty of jobs out there. So good luck to you guys. And thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.